Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're at Road America in the Super Formula Fixed series. As you can see, I'm using a special livery that I designed for a competition run by iRacing. I highly recommend you go and check him out. I'll leave a link in the description. So here is the grid, and as you can see we qualified P2 only a tenth of a second behind pole position. The top four is also only split by 6/10ths of a second. So 4 red lights here on the grid at Road America, and we're off. We get a load of wheel spin and we nearly put it into the barrier. Luckily we keep it in a straight line, and I think there was an incident behind us as well, so that gave us a bit of room that we needed not to collect anyone. So coming through T1 here, we're going to try and just get into a rhythm and a groove and settle in behind Samuel Burnett, who is in P1 there, and just cement our position in P2. So coming down the hill then for the first time into the tight left-hander, and it's a common place for people to lock up and go wide, so we'll stay close and try and see if we can get a position. And he has a small little lock-up, Burnett, but he keeps it on the track, and Rick Ellis behind us closes the gap to us. So it's turning into a bit of a three-way battle here for the lead, and let's go back and see what happened on the start then. So here we are back to the start, and we get a lot of wheel spin there, and I think it was Clarkson in third who also didn't get a great start, so that gave us the space we needed not to collect anyone. And yeah, there was an incident further down the road, and we all come through nice and cleanly. So here we are on Clarkson, and he gets loads of wheel spin, gets bogged down, and then he spins into the wall and takes out 3 drivers there at the start, so not a great start for Clarkson. So back to the live action and the start of lap 2 here, and we're still behind Burnett in second place, and he's just under a second up the road, and Rick Ellis is also just under a second behind. I can feel that Ellis is quick though, so I'm expecting him to catch us soon, and this will be a three-way battle for the lead. And he also has Elliot Alderson keeping tabs on him. And no lock-up from Burnett into the corner there. Ellis comes in a bit hot by the looks of it, and he's off. He's off onto the grass. Let's have a look at what happened there. So on board with Ellis here coming down the hill. A wide line from Ellis to try and maximise the exit speed. He wants to catch us up as quick as possible, but he comes in way too hot up the hill, and he's off onto the grass, and that allows Elliot Alderson round the outside. A lovely move there from Alderson. So on board with Alderson, and he sees Ellis go off onto the grass, and he hangs it round the outside of the right-hander that is normally flat out, and he just keeps it within the lines, and that is a great overtake from Alderson to take third position. So here we are, still on lap 2, back to the live action, and Burnett has a lock-up again. He's locked up a few times, but he hasn't made any major mistakes that's allowed us to get close to him for a potential overtake. And we're finally using our overtake button. I don't know why I hadn't used it on the first lap, but we're going to use it all the way through the flat out section here to try and close the gap to Burnett. And we also have a gap to Elliot Alderson of just over 2 seconds, so we're feeling fairly comfortable in second place, and we're going to try and see if we can get close and nick the lead of the race and potentially a win, but hopefully a podium at least. So on to lap 4 now, and Burnett has managed to pull out a lead of 1.5 seconds. Elliot Alderson is still 2 seconds behind. So Burnett, oh, he's locked up again. He's off into the gravel, and we managed to dodge him and come up the inside. And that was close, and we're now into the lead of the race, but it's compromised the entrance to this long right-hander. And he's coming back at us, Burnett. He's going to be absolutely fuming with himself, I can imagine. And he's trying to get the pass done. I'm just sticking to the left-hand side. I don't want any incidents. I'm going to stick to the left as much as possible. If he goes up the inside, he can have it. I don't want to deal with someone hitting me off. But with that, Elliot Alderson is now 2/10ths behind us. So now we're back to a three-way battle for the lead. And Rick Ellis, it looks like, has been able to keep up with Alderson. So this is turning into quite the battle now. On lap 4 turning into lap 5. So onto the start of lap 5 now, and we're trying to stick with Burnett in the slipstream to see if we can get a move done. But Alderson is coming up our inside and he's got the move done. He's straight up the inside. I gave him loads of room there, so he said thank you very much, and now he's going to be trying to hunt down Burnett and take the lead, and we seem to just be moving backwards. And so we try and stick with Alderson here in the slipstream to see if we can make a move into the left-hander at the bottom of the hill. We shape to the outside, but I don't think we're going to get alongside. No, we have to slot in behind Alderson and just try and cement P3 here. So let's go back and have a look at how Burnett ended up off the road. On board with Burnett here, coming up to the left-hander where he went off. So let's see what's happened. He's locked up the front left, and that's put him into the gravel, and he's tried to keep it going and speared across the track. Luckily we were going slow enough to miss him there, and we've gone up into the lead of the race, but he's got a much better line and we are compromised through there. He's nearly off the track again. I can imagine just wanting to get the place back as soon as possible. He's nearly off again, trying to go up the left hand side of us, and he's chosen to go up the inside. I was sticking to the left, I didn't want any collisions, and he's got the move done and he's back up into P1. And this is from Alderson's point of view. He can see the battle going on, probably hoping he can pick up the scraps. But me going wide there and giving Burnett space has given Alderson a chance to get a run down the home straight, which he did. And he managed to keep close through the last turn. And he's using his overtake button. We didn't have any overtake left, so we really were a sitting duck. So he's picking up slipstream, he's got the boost, and he's closing in like Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. And he's up the inside. There's no way I can defend that, and he's taken a lovely line into there, and now he's after Burnett. So back with the live action, we're behind Alderson, who is still trying to catch Burnett, and we're going to see if we can stick with Alderson and use his slipstream to pull us along to try and get closer to P1. And Rick Ellis has kept with us. He's still less than a second behind me. We're going to use the overtake to try and close the gap to the two in front. And Burnett's wide. He's off onto the grass again. He's got quick underlying pace, but he is prone to a mistake. And now we're all bunched up coming through the last few corners. See if we can get a move done on the home straight. Try and get that second place back from Alderson. Turned in a bit too early then. We've compromised the exit and we've got no overtake to try and get that time back, so Alderson and Burnett are pulling away a little bit here, so we're going to try and duck into the slipstream to try and get back. And we're right on the limiter, and we've gone in too hot and we've locked up, and that means Rick Ellis is a bit closer to us now. He fancies a move, he doesn't go for it, he thinks better of it. And we're out wide onto the bumpy curb, and that's going to give Rick Ellis a run down into the left-hander. He's now only 2/10 behind us. I can feel a move coming. He's gone to the inside, and he's dived up the inside. We've hung it out wide to stay out of the way, and he's come back across the track, and he's going to close us off. I nearly lock up and go into the back of him, and we're snaking all over the road. The tyres are sliding around. So now we're down into 4th position. We've got to try and collect ourselves and get back into the groove. So here we are, a big lock up into T1, and that gives Ellis the chance to try and make a move. He tries to think about it, but he thinks better of it, and we're out wide, and that gives him the run under the bridge and down the hill in the slipstream. And he was a lot closer than he looked in the mirror, but yep, he's going to shape to the inside, and he is up into 3rd position. Goes a little bit wide and comes back across the track. I think to myself, I may be able to get up the outside, but he closes it off and solidifies that P3. So we're back to the live action, and we're on lap 7 here, and the front 3 have built up a gap to me of just over 2 seconds. And it looks like Rick Ellis is making a move on Elliot Alderson. He has. Rick Ellis is up to second place. This battle is far from over in this race with 2 laps to go. So into the last part of the lap here, and we seem to be closer to the front 3, or at least closer to Elliot Alderson. So we're going to see if we can try and maybe salvage something from this race in the last couple of laps. And we're into the last corner and we're wide, we're onto the curb, and that is going to hurt our exit. And we've got an off track there. So we need to just keep calm. 2 laps to go as confirmed by the spotter. And coming into T1, we've made some time on Alderson. It's now under a second. He may have a problem, you know. I think he might. And it seemed pretty easy for Ellis to get past him, and we've made up over a second in the last few corners on him. So coming down towards the bridge and down the hill, we're going to shake to the right, and I think he's got damage. Yep, he's lost his front wing. So he's either had an incident with Burnett or Ellis there, and he's back down into 4th, and we're back up into the podium places, into 3rd position. So let's go back and see what happened to Alderson there that meant he lost his front wing and ultimately the podium place. So coming into the right-hander, and that's Burnett. So this is when he was in 2nd position, and he's got the run on Burnett, but he doesn't really know where to go. Burnett is moving slightly and he's parked it in the middle, and Alderson has gone into the back of him there. So back onto the final lap, and we come over the line to finish in P3 in what was a very eventful and very enjoyable race. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did racing in it. If you did like it, please hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Hit that like button, and I will see you in the next video. And if you want to know how I created the livery that you saw in this race that I actually won the livery competition with, then I will link the video that I have on my channel showing how to create a livery in iRacing. So I will see you next time, and thanks for watching.